Imagine a life where every moment is a gift, every breath an opportunity. What if I told you that the key to unlocking this extraordinary existence lies not in gaining more, but in expecting less? This is the paradox that will transform your world. In this video, we'll embark on a profound journey into the heart of Stoic philosophy and personal growth. This isn't just another self-help mantra. It's a fundamental shift in perspective that can liberate you from the chains of expectation and open doors to boundless fulfillment. As we delve into this transformative idea, you'll discover how releasing expectations can lead to greater happiness, resilience, and success. We'll examine real-life examples, ancient wisdom, and modern psychology to illustrate how this principle can be applied to every aspect of your life, from relationships and career to personal growth and inner peace. By watching this video, you're taking the first step towards a life of true freedom and contentment. You'll gain insights that will help you navigate life's challenges with grace, find joy in the present moment, and cultivate a mindset that attracts abundance. This isn't about resignation or passivity. It's about empowering yourself to live life on your own terms, free from the tyranny of unfulfilled expectations. Are you ready to unlock the secret to a life of unimaginable richness? Let's begin. Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted wilderness. The air is crisp, filled with possibility. Before you lies a path, winding its way through dense forests, across rushing rivers, and up steep mountains. This path is your life, and every step you take is a choice. But here's the twist. You don't know where this path leads. You have no map, no guide, no expectations of what lies ahead. And in this beautiful uncertainty lies your greatest strength. For too long, we've been sold the lie that to succeed, we must set our sights on specific outcomes. We're told to visualize our goals, to expect great things, to demand the universe bend to our will. But what if this very act of expectation is what's holding us back? What if our tight grip on these expectations is actually strangling the life out of our dreams? The Stoics, those ancient philosophers who seem to speak directly to our modern anxieties, understood this paradox. They knew that true power comes not from controlling external events, but from mastering our internal responses. Epictetus, a former slave turned influential Stoic teacher, once said, But let's be clear, expecting nothing doesn't mean desiring nothing. It doesn't mean giving up on your dreams or settling for a life of mediocrity. Far from it. It means freeing yourself from the emotional roller coaster of attachment to outcomes. It means pouring your heart and soul into your efforts while simultaneously detaching from the fruits of your labor. It's a delicate balance, a dance between passionate engagement and serene acceptance. Think about the last time you were truly disappointed. Chances are it wasn't the event itself that caused your pain, but the gap between what you expected and what actually occurred. Our expectations are like invisible architects, silently shaping our emotional landscape. When reality fails to meet these often unrealistic standards, we suffer. But what if we could dismantle these expectations? What if we could approach each moment with open hands and an open heart? This is where the magic happens. When you expect nothing, you're suddenly free to appreciate everything. The smallest joys become profound gifts. A warm smile from a stranger, the soft glow of sunrise, the satisfying stretch of your muscles after a good night's sleep. These simple pleasures, often overlooked in our relentless pursuit of more, become sources of immense gratitude and contentment. But this philosophy goes beyond mere appreciation. It's a radical reorientation of how we engage with the world. When you release your grip on specific outcomes, you become more adaptable, more resilient. You're no longer at the mercy of circumstances because you're no longer invested in things being a certain way. This flexibility allows you to navigate life's inevitable ups and downs with grace and equanimity. Consider the Stoic practice of negative visualization. This isn't about wallowing in pessimism, but about inoculating yourself against disappointment and cultivating gratitude. By regularly imagining losing the things you value, your health, your loved ones, your possessions, you not only prepare yourself for potential losses, but also deepen your appreciation for what you currently have. It's a powerful antidote to the hedonic treadmill that keeps us constantly chasing the next thing, never satisfied with what we've already achieved. This mindset of expecting nothing while appreciating everything is not just a philosophical concept. It's a practical tool for navigating the complexities of life. Instead, imagine approaching your life as an explorer, not a conqueror. Each day is uncharted territory, filled with potential for discovery and growth. When you release your expectations, you open yourself to the infinite possibilities that each moment holds. You become more present, more alive to the richness of your experiences. This presence is the key to unlocking deeper connections, greater creativity, and a more profound sense of purpose. Consider how this mindset might transform your relationships. So often, our connections with others are strained by the weight of unspoken expectations. We expect our partners to read our minds, our friends to always be available, our children to fulfill our unfulfilled dreams. But what if we could approach each interaction with fresh eyes, free from the burden of these expectations? Suddenly, every conversation becomes an opportunity for genuine connection. Every gesture of kindness becomes an unexpected gift, not a met obligation. This doesn't mean becoming passive or indifferent. On the contrary, releasing expectations allows you to engage more fully with life. When you're not fixated on a specific outcome, you're free to pour yourself completely into the process. Think of an artist lost in the flow of creation, or an athlete in the zone during a competition. They're not thinking about the end result. They're fully immersed in the present moment, and it's in this state of flow that true magic happens. The Stoics understood this paradox deeply. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This inner strength, cultivated through the practice of expecting nothing, becomes an unshakable foundation from which you can face any challenge life throws your way. But make no mistake, this path is not an easy one. Our minds are hardwired to crave certainty, to seek control over our environment. Letting go of expectations can feel like stepping off a cliff, trusting that you'll learn to fly on the way down. It requires courage, practice, and a willingness to sit with discomfort. You'll face resistance from your own mind, from society's expectations, from the very structures of the world we've built around us. Yet, as you begin to embrace this philosophy, you'll notice subtle shifts in your perception. The world will seem brighter, richer, more alive with possibility. You'll find yourself more resilient in the face of setbacks, more grateful for the good things in your life. You'll discover a deep well of inner peace that remains unshaken by external circumstances. This is not about lowering your standards or settling for less. It's about recognizing that true fulfillment comes not from achieving specific outcomes, but from how we engage with life itself. Imagine approaching your career with this mindset. Instead of fixating on promotions or salary increases, you focus on doing your best work, on learning and growing each day. You're no longer paralyzed by the fear of failure, because failure is just another opportunity for growth. You're not crushed by setbacks, because you understand that your worth is not determined by external achievements. This philosophy extends beyond our personal lives and into how we interact with the world at large. In a society obsessed with progress and achievement, choosing to expect nothing can be a radical act of rebellion. It's a statement that your worth is not determined by your productivity, your bank balance, or your social status. It's an affirmation that you are enough, exactly as you are, in this very moment. But this isn't about complacency or resignation. It's about freeing yourself from the tyranny of expectations so that you can engage more fully with life. When you're not constrained by rigid expectations of how things should be, you become more open to seeing things as they truly are. This clarity of vision allows you to respond more effectively to the challenges and opportunities that life presents. Consider how this mindset might transform your approach to personal growth. Instead of setting rigid goals and berating yourself when you fall short, you focus on the process of continuous improvement. Each day becomes an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become a slightly better version of yourself. You're no longer competing against an idealized version of yourself or others. You're simply focused on taking the next right step. This approach aligns beautifully with the Stoic concept of virtue. For the Stoics, living a good life wasn't about accumulating wealth or achieving fame. It was about cultivating wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control. These virtues are not end states to be achieved, but ongoing practices to be honed throughout our lives. By releasing our attachment to specific outcomes, we free ourselves to focus on these deeper, more meaningful aspects of personal development. As you embrace this philosophy, you may find that your definition of success begins to shift. Instead of measuring your life by external metrics, money, status, possessions, you start to value internal qualities like peace of mind, integrity, and the ability to maintain equanimity in the face of adversity. This internal locus of control becomes your superpower, allowing you to find contentment and purpose regardless of external. This mindset can be particularly powerful when facing life's inevitable challenges and setbacks. When you expect nothing, you're better equipped to handle disappointment. Instead of being crushed when things don't go as planned, you're able to adapt, to find the lesson in the experience, to see the opportunity hidden within the obstacle. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Imagine applying this philosophy to your relationships. When you release your expectations of how others should behave or what they should provide for you, you create space for genuine connection. You're able to accept people as they are, not as you wish them to be. This doesn't mean tolerating toxic behavior, but rather approaching each interaction with openness and compassion. You become a better listener, a more empathetic friend, a more understanding partner. This approach to life also fosters a deep sense of gratitude. When you expect nothing, everything becomes a gift. The simple pleasures of daily life, a warm cup of coffee, a beautiful sunset, a moment of laughter with a friend, take on a new significance. You start to notice the abundance that surrounds you, even in the midst of challenges. This gratitude, in turn, attracts more positivity into your life, creating a virtuous cycle of appreciation and joy. As we near the end of our exploration, let's consider how this philosophy of expecting nothing can transform our relationship with time. In our fast-paced world, we often find ourselves racing against the clock, always striving to get somewhere else, to achieve the next goal. But when we release our expectations, we allow ourselves to fully inhabit the present moment. We realize that life isn't something that happens in the future. It's unfolding right now, in this very breath. This presence, this deep engagement with the now, is where true fulfillment lies. It's in these moments of full presence that we experience what the ancient Greeks called eudaimonia, a state of human flourishing that goes beyond mere happiness. It's a sense of living in alignment with our deepest values, of being fully alive to the richness of our experiences. But make no mistake, embracing this philosophy doesn't mean your life will be free from pain or challenge. The Stoics understood that suffering is an inevitable part of the human experience. What changes is how you relate to that suffering. When you expect nothing, you're better equipped to face life's hardships with resilience and grace. You understand that these challenges are not punishments or obstacles, but opportunities for growth and self-discovery. This mindset also cultivates a profound sense of freedom. When you're not bound by rigid expectations of how your life should unfold, you're free to explore, to take risks, to follow your curiosity. You're no longer living according to someone else's script or society's expectations. Instead, you're authoring your own story, one moment at a time. Consider how this approach might transform your work life. Instead of being driven by external rewards or recognition, you focus on the intrinsic value of your work. You pour your energy into doing your best, into creating value, into serving others. Not because you expect anything in return, but because it's the right thing to do. This shift in focus often leads to greater satisfaction and, paradoxically, often greater success. This philosophy also has profound implications for how we engage with the wider world. When we release our expectations of how things should be, we become more accepting of diversity, more open to different perspectives. We're less likely to judge others or to impose our views on them. Instead, we approach the world with curiosity and compassion, seeking to understand rather than to convert or condemn. As we wrap up our journey, I want you to imagine a life lived in this way, free from the burden of expectations, open to the infinite possibilities of each moment. Imagine the sense of peace, that comes from knowing that your worth isn't determined by external achievements. Imagine the joy of approaching each day as a fresh adventure, each interaction as an opportunity for genuine connection. This is the gift that comes from expecting nothing. It's not about lowering your standards or giving up on your dreams. It's about freeing yourself to pursue those dreams with passion and purpose, without being attached to specific outcomes. It's about finding contentment in the journey itself, rather than constantly striving for some future state of happiness. Remember, this is not a destination to be reached, but a practice to be cultivated. There will be times when you fall back into old patterns of expectation and attachment. That's okay. The key is to notice when this happens and gently bring yourself back to the present moment, back to the state of open acceptance. As you leave this video and return to your daily life, I encourage you to carry this philosophy with you. Start small, perhaps by approaching your next conversation without expectations, or by tackling a task at work with full engagement in the process rather than fixation on the outcome. Notice how this shift in perspective changes your experience. In closing, remember the words of Epictetus. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. By expecting nothing, you open yourself to gaining everything. Not in terms of material possessions or external achievements, but in the richness of your experiences, the depth of your relationships, and the peace that comes from true self-acceptance. This is the paradox at the heart of our exploration. By letting go, we gain. By expecting nothing, we open ourselves to receiving everything life has to offer. So go forth with an open heart and open hands, ready to embrace the beauty